Aloha mai kako. Hui, aloha na wahine kaika. It's so nice to have all of you in the house. So I want you to say after me, it's halepe'a time. Absolutely. We all know what that means, right? It talks about our sacredness of women. Other people who came to our shores, they didn't quite understand it. They called it, haumia and things like that. But that's just because that was their own hang-up. We knew what sacred meant. We know what kapu is, So during that time, don't be coming around us. You could get killed, all right? We knew that, right? Men were not allowed in the halepe'a. If they came by and they were caught with their women at that time, they were killed. So we take that very seriously, right? We're serious wahine. So mahalo nui for coming and joining us. I want to say mahalo to Pu'uloa and all of our hostess who are having us here in their vahipana. This is such a glorious day. First thing I noticed when I got here, down on the side was a beautiful ke'anui double rainbow right across with a nice mist, and that's such a good ho'ailona. So welcome, welcome. I do feel welcomed, and I hope that you do too. My name is Manu Kaiama, and I was asked to do this inspirational, supposed to be, presentation for all of you, and just because in the beginning nobody was signing up. So mahalo for signing up, everyone. I don't know why I couldn't get my name off the list after that, but you'll notice that a lot of us who were involved in putting this together are also presenters. And it's just because we didn't think anyone was going to sign up to present. So I'm being very honest. Okay, I have been super busy, so I want to apologize that I have to take a look at my notes, but I want to make sure that I make certain points in this discussion. And the first one I want to find out is, who over here is single? How many wahine are here are single? Raise your hand high and proud. Lucky girls. Yeah, single. Woohoo, right on. Okay, be quiet. I'll be showing off. Okay, how many of us are married? Woohoo! Oh, not as much enthusiasm. How come? My goodness. Okay. And how many of us here are mamas? We're mothers. Oh, the hand went up much stronger. Yeah, proud to be a mom. Of course we are. Any tutus in the house? Woohoo! Me too. I never thought I'd admit it, but I'm very happy, so I'm admitting it. Yay! When my oldest daughter told me, hey, Mom, she was planning to not get hapai for a couple years, but of course, married, boom, got pregnant. Ma, guess what? I'm hapai. I'm like, oh my gracious. And some of you know this story. I said, I'm going to have to set aside some money for the child to have psychological care. Because the child is going to wonder why Tutu has always insisted that the child call me auntie. But of course, I was there at the delivery, very, very fortunate that my daughter had the foresight to think, I want my mom and my sisters to be present. I never would have done that. My mother would have fainted. My sister would have said, no, thank you. But it's a different generation of women. And I was there, and my grandson came into the world, and I said, move over, hand him to Tutu. So I embraced the idea of being a tutu, and I'm very, very happy and very lucky to be one. And I have two more, and the other two are girls. Woohoo! So even better. So we're populating with wahine. Okay, depending upon how young you are, how old you are, that will dictate to you the type of leader you are now, right? If you're young, single, still a part of a family, you may have leadership kuleana in that ohana. You may be the oldest, and you may be saddled with a bunch of kuleana because you are the oldest, right? If you're moving on and we're now a little bit older, we take on our kuleana, right? I remember being taught that kuleana finds you, you don't choose your kuleana. And I have found, after so many years of living on this world, that's so true, right? So many times something comes before you, and you don't really have a choice. You need to go ahead and you need to take that over, become the leader of this. If it's pilikia, if it's a challenge, if it's just a mea Hawaii, you need to step up. And I think we have all probably sometime or another in our lives experienced this. So I wanted to talk about how it's easy to find Wahine leadership in our environment today. Sometimes we as women, we're the hardest ones on ourselves, right? Oh, how come I never do that? Or why didn't I do that better? Or why wasn't I doing this in a timely manner? We're the hardest critics on ourselves. And I want to offer up to you, cut it out. Enjoy your life. Know that you are pono. Know that you are righteous. Know that you are great. And enjoy it and embrace it. We really cannot wait for someone else to tell us that, and we shouldn't be. Now, it doesn't mean we walk around being all arrogant and, yeah, I'm so good, I'm so good. You know that's not what I mean. What I mean is having a type of inner security, inner confidence, and ability to know that what you do is pono, what you do is maikai, and you're here to serve. And really, when you are born a wahine, you are here to serve, right? Whether we want to or not, that's sort of just put upon us. Okay, so many lessons to learn from our leadership and our women in leadership positions or in leadership, different kuleana that provides for them to lead. And I like to go back to our mo'olelo, because that's really our foundation as Hawaiian women. And if you look at our mo'olelo, we have so many Hawaiian women that we could turn to and say, wow, right? Especially in our Hawaiian culture. If you take a look at Western white man's culture, you don't see a whole lot of women leaders. And when you see them, it's such a huge, big deal, because for so long these women were oppressed. And I really think as Hawaiians, we got it right the first time, right? Pre-contact, okay, before contact, women had certain kuleana, men had certain kuleana. We didn't compete with each other. We recognized, honey, man, you're good at cooking. Yes, you should cook for me. We recognized, right, that they were better at certain things than we are. And they recognized we were better at certain things than they were, right? Government, warfare, things like that, right? If you look back and you look at all of the different goddesses who were probably people from long, long time ago, right? And has come forward in our history. When we look and we see, Laka, Pele, we look at Hina, Haumea, Keau Mele Mele, Kapo Ula o Kina'u. We have so many women that we can look at and we can learn from and learn about their mo'olelo. We're very, very lucky to be Hawaiian. If we fast forward in time, okay, and we see that what had happened post-contact, women suddenly were assimilating to a new role, fighting for vote, fighting for equality, still fighting for equality in many, many venues. Do not forget your Hawaiian heritage, which empowers all of us, and can be used to empower us. Okay, if we take a look at some of the things that were put on us, okay, and that's what I want to ask you. Okay, what are we teaching our daughters? If you don't have a daughter and you're maybe planning to have children at some point in time, what do you think we should be teaching our daughters? Dare to ask ourselves, okay, are we being the role models for Hawaiian women that we should be? Are we? Even if you have a very modest calling in life, which is fabulous, right? Still, are you living that day to day as a role model for some Hawaiian woman or some Hawaiian young girl who will witness you and she'll think, wow, I might want to be like that. So are we doing that? So I really challenge all of us. I ask myself that every day. Every day I say, oh man, I'm not kicking it as an instructor at UH. I've got to get my stuff together better. I want to do a better delivery. I'm not kicking it as a mother at home. Why aren't I teaching my children this, or why didn't I have them do that? I didn't make dinner for my husband yesterday, so hard on ourselves, okay? So what I'm asking all of us to do is be a little bit easier, look to our foundation as Hawaiians, and think about that. Think about what are we teaching the next generation of women. Are we teaching the next generation of women how to get a man? Are we? Why do we want to do that? Because once we get one, we want to get rid of them. So cut it out. Okay, cut it out. If you take a look at that, some of the things that our society, not necessarily us as Hawaiians, but our society amplify and push, right, are really how to get a man, right? Look beautiful. Be skinny, 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 right? Have boobs out to here. No, it doesn't matter if they're fake. It's okay. It's okay, right? Better yet, right? When we are encompassing these ideas, what are we teaching the next generation? Are we really putting so much pressure on them to be something that is not possible? Instead, let's teach them that they are beautiful, significant women the way they are. That we have expectation for them to do well and to do good in our communities. And they are beautiful just the way they are. And the only reason I say that, I think we all sit here and we think, yeah, I do try to do that. And I know we do. I know we do. But I just want us always to be maka'ala to what is put upon us. We're not always catching it. Yeah, we're not always catching these subliminal messages that are being delivered to us every single moment through the media. So let's catch them next time. Let's be proactive and let's challenge them. I started to think, okay, what are some stereotypes like that we say common, and you may say, you may participate in, or you may not. I mean, I know it took a long time for me to change my way of speaking about the continent. I always said mainland, mainland, mainland. And finally I said, this is the mainland. I learned that from Kekuni Blaisdell, and I said, I am going to embrace it. And from now on, I'm never calling this place the mainland. That place the mainland. I'm always calling this place the mainland. It took a long time for me to do that, paradigm shift, yeah? But I did. So I know we all can do those things. So that's the continent. This is the mainland. Same with women. For example, you run like a girl. Have you ever said that? You run like a girl. Well, what does a girl run like? Honestly, we don't run like that, right? I mean, I played soccer for most of my life. I don't play anymore because I blew up my knee, like most soccer players in their 50s. But I played soccer. I never ran like that, okay? So, but, things like this, like how about, don't be a panty, right? Don't be a panty. I mean, you know what I'm saying? These little things are a little bit degrading to us, and yet we still say them and do them, right? A panty is pretty good. It's very necessary if you get into a car accident and they're taking you to the hospital. Didn't your tutu teach you that? Make sure that panty don't have pukas. Kind of hard, because we don't go and buy ourselves clothes. All right? So, being a panty might be a good thing, okay? Anybody out there? I know this is so intimidating to be very far away from you at Kalamaya'u, but it was just necessary because they wanted to do some taping. But anybody out there can think of one that's kind of not very complimentary to us, but people say it all the time in public. Anybody? Thinking, thinking, dun, dun, dun. Come on, there's a million of them. If you come up with it, I have a present for you. Oh, I'm bribing the women. Oh, okay, who said what? Right here. Yes, honey. Oh. Come up here, please. I didn't really expect that. Join Auntie. Okay. Now it's her turn to talk. Did you all hear what she said? Okay, good, then I'm not going to repeat it. What did you say?
You look like a pussy.
Yeah, you look like a pussy. Have you ever heard someone say that? No one's ever told me that, but that's because they don't have, they're probably scared. I might punch them or something. Or I might embrace it, right? I might say, mahalo. Yeah? I mean, what the heck? Okay, so did someone ever tell you that?
No, it's like guys talking to other guys.
Guys talking to other guys. Okay, they don't know what they're talking about. So, that's just, that's their hormones talking, yeah? Bruh, you look like a pussy. And I kind of like you, right? They just didn't say the other line, right? Okay, so let's just be honest. All right, how about anybody else out there? Anyone else have another one? Anyone thought of one? Yay! Oh, come up here, sister. While she's coming up here, introduce yourself to the group.
Aloha. My name is Kapua Canville. I am the daughter of Wally Canville and Donna Canville back there.
Hi. Okay, you're probably wondering what this makana is, and it's na Wahine Kuhinapapa, Divine Hawaiian Women by Dr. Lili Kalakame'elehiva, who happens to be sitting right mahope. Aloha, friend. And it's also tied to From a Native Daughter from Dr. Haunani K. Trask. So 2 fabulous women. So hopefully, if you have one, you can give it away as a makana, but if you don't, good. Okay, so what did you say, darling?
Oh. Girls don't do that.
Yeah, how many have been told that? Girls don't do that. Most of us, yeah. Yeah, girls don't do what?
Like careers or sports, certain sports.
Okay, this is Andrea. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Andrea Kamahele.
And what you do?
What I do?
Yeah.
Oh. I work in a spa, and I'm a trainer, and I teach the massage therapists and the estheticians our protocols.
Right, that's another one, right? Girls don't do that. I was told that a lot when I was younger. Girls don't do that. Girls don't do that. I mean, because my mom, from a different generation. And we appreciate that. I tried never to tell my daughters, girls don't do that, unless it's something that doesn't relate to women versus men, but is something that a wahine really, from protocol perspective, shouldn't be doing. So I might use that term. I might use that saying. So I can't quite ditch it completely. How about any others? Hey, one over there. Komo mai ke olu olu. We have another one.
I'm going to give her my seat.
Oh, no, you're not. She's trying to leave. You see that? I'll give her my seat. Andrea, stay right here. At some point in time, I'll have all of you up here, and then I'll feel really comfortable, and we won't have to worry. Enough room. Okay. What was yours?
Huh?
What's yours?
Be a lady.
Oh.
Yeah.
Be a lady.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I wasn't being a lady for a minute. Be a lady. What's your name, hon?
Kalama.
Kalama
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
Kalama Davis. And who's your mom and dad? Because you look too young to be.
Michael and Jacqueline Davis.
Michael and Jacqueline Davis. Mahalo. Okay. Okay. Because there's a mic up here, I want to ask my 3 comrades if they had anything else to add or say that they've been inspired because they're sitting up here looking at all of your shining faces and receiving this manna.
I'm happy to see so many people.
You can talk.
I'm happy to see so many of you here this morning. Thank you.
Okay, in the spirit of sisterhood. So can we give them a round of applause, please, for coming up here? I dragged them up here. Mahalo. My pleasure. Okay. I have another couple more. Oh, sorry, just I keep moving this around. What is that? That looks very kauna. Didn't that? Are you paying attention? As Hawaiian women, we always notice things like that. Okay, well, repeat it because you missed it. All right, anyway. Anything else? I had a couple more. He's worse than a wahine. Yeah, he's worse than a wahine. Oh my gosh, that must be pretty bad. Okay, another one I thought of. The weaker sex. The weaker sex, yeah. Well, okay, maybe body lifters. The women are lifting weights just like men nowadays. The weaker sex. But that just has such a connotation to it, yeah. We're from the weaker sex. But of course, after you've lived your life, you know that that's not true. Lady driver. Have you ever had that? Yeah, lady driver, and then you pull up, oh, it's a man. Right? I mean, so many mythologies that we still buy into, okay, really. Like I said, extremes. I kind of say, I know they're a little crass, but I say mahalo to the Kardashians, because they brought back the big butt. And, I mean, really, no matter how hard we try, you're not going to change that shape, So embrace it. Okay? Embrace it. It's fabulous. It's fabulous to be who we are. Okay? If we take a look at just empowerment, and because, I'm a professor, I got to look it up, right? Because I want to see, okay, how do they really define empowerment? And one of the best definitions I found was, and just bear with me, multi-dimensional social process that fosters power in people and inspires us to act on issues we deem important. In other words, you see something, you take control of it, you make it good. Okay? That's empowerment. We don't have to, in order to empower ourselves, compare us to men. We don't have to belittle another person in order to empower ourselves or be great. We realize when you have the confidence to know who you are and what you have to offer, you don't need to do that. Men have their place in our society. We have our place in our society. Even though we joke about it all the time, which is fun, we know that they are very important to us. I love men, okay? I love women, and I think that that's where we should come from, rather than in order to be able to have gains as wahine, that we need to pull men down. We don't need to pull them down, right? Nobody's up, nobody's down, okay? Like old Hawaiian, right? Our old traditions. We're just different. Okay, so in order to encourage our daughters, our sisters, other wahine to excel, what we need to do is we need to tell them, take chances, okay? Because to be a leader, you have taken a chance. You've put yourself out there. We want to have them be courageous. So we can't always be worried about them. Sometimes they need to go out and they need to do their own thing. We want to teach them to be honest. We want to teach them to be good. They're not going to learn those things if we're not doing it for ourselves, okay? And I think we all know this. I know that I'm preaching to the choir, especially when I saw so many mom hands go up there. I myself have been very fortunate to be mentored by a number of lovely, strong, capable, intelligent women. I've been very, very fortunate. And I want you to think for yourself, who is a wahine that really, really mentored and affected you through her leadership? Any answers? Anybody can tell me, want to share with me some Native Hawaiian woman who was a leader in her own role, okay, who really inspired you? Anybody want to share that story? Oh, I see a hand way back there. Komo mai ke olu olu. It's like a mile to get up here. Okay. Hey, don't run like a girl, huh? Lani. Aloha. Introduce yourself, please.
O Lelani Ko'inoa. No ka mokupuni o ke ave, a ka noho wau ma o ahu I ke manapa. Hey, I said. Yeah. I see a lot of people from Keawe over here. Aloha.
Okay, okay, answer the question.
My grandmother had 12 children. So, and she was the head. You know, like you were saying, the men went out work, women was the head of the family. So it was my grandmother. That was, yeah, she was, what she said went. When grandpa wanted something, ask grandma. Every time. So it was my grandmother, her role as the matriarch of the family. I don't know how many people had that in their family, but my grandmother was the matriarch. She ran the family. Everybody went to her. She knew what was happening even before we told her. So that was my grandmother.
Wow,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
All right, mahalo nui for sharing. I'm hoping that many of us thought of our mothers or our tutus or other women. You see, this doesn't want to stay on me. I guess I should just, okay, forget it. Okay, because it doesn't want to be there. But I did want to, oi, kalumayao. Yamakana. I did want to talk about some of the women that have inspired me, like I said. And of course, I had to write it down because I don't, you know, I don't know, there's something happens once you hit 40. Yeah, 2. No, 2. Something happens when you hit 40, and like I'm way beyond 40, so you know it's really happened hard, okay? But you can't remember anything anymore. So what I did was I started thinking about these Hawaiian women that influenced me and inspired me to do certain things, okay? And like one of them is right here, Lilikala Kame'elehiva. I had the good fortune of taking classes from her over at Kamakakuakalani. And she taught me so much about being divine women, you know. And so I started to say, okay, what lessons have I learned from these women? You know, how can I help share those lessons so that you can also be a part of that learning process? With Lili Kala, one of our most famous things was good cop, bad cop. Good cop, bad cop. And I know she's laughing right now about that. Because what would happen was we'd get involved in different things that were going on in the community, and they were usually controversial, and we wanted to go and we wanted to defend Hawaiian rights. And so we would make a plan before we go, you know, in the public or in front of anyone, and we would say, okay. And she would always tell me, I'm going to be good cop. You be bad cop. I always had to be bad cop. So I know you all think I'm bad cop, but it's only because I was assigned bad cop. So because she was my kumu, I said, okay, hiki no. So we would go. What is she saying back there? Hey, eyes up here, eyes up here. Don't be listening to her. Just let me get through this story, Lilikala. And so anyways, as my papers fly all over, so she would go, and so we would go, yeah? And one time I remember we were doing a presentation, well, not a presentation, it was what, a press release, press conference. Okay, and there we are. And so I started with she started with her good cop. Well, we know that Kamehameha is trying their best and blah, blah, blah. And she's so good, you know, she's real PC, politically correct. You know, she just, poi compelled is what I like to say. You know, and she's just so cool, you know, and, you know, and mahalo to, you know, kia koa, da-da-da-da-da. And then it's my turn to be bad cop. So I'm like, well, you know, I really, all that being said, I really wish you guys would like consider A mea, B mea, C mea, as I get into it. And you know, what about this and what about that? And I'm watching her, and as she's listening to me talk, she's getting upset, and she's getting kind of furious. You know, it's like, and then she grabs the mic from me and she goes, and another thing, you know, and then she goes off, you know. And I'm there like, okay. So we never really did good cop, bad cop. We always did good cop, badder cop. Or what I could say, really, baddest cop, you know? So it was really hilarious, and didn't matter. Every time we get out of there and I say, hey, what happened? She goes, I don't know, I was listening to you talking. I just got really upset, and I had to let them know what I thought. I had to laugh. So she is one of the women. Of course, as most of you know, because I know many of you out there, Vicky Ho Takamine, she taught me how to organize, how to be passionate about organizing. From Haunani K. Trask, really, I still remember her teaching us and saying, with all the injustices that we have suffered as a people, when people would come up to her and she taught me this, she said, and they'd say, "Why are you so mad?" And she would answer, "Why aren't you?" And I always thought that was an interesting perspective. If you educate yourselves, you would know that there's something for us to be concerned about. We can't ignore it. Also, I thought, of course, of my mother, and my mother really, taught me to stick up for the underdog. And my mother really taught me to be tough. My mom was tough, and she expected toughness. And that's really important in certain situations, as we all know. I also thought about my daughters and the lessons that my daughters have taught me, and how they have empowered me. Really, they teach me to remember my childhood and to enjoy theirs. And they have taught me really how sacred life is, to be able to see them growing. And basically what the whole essence of life is. See, look at that, Mana, I learned from Bella Richards, and I don't know, does anyone out there ever take hula from Auntie Bella Richards? We have one hand. Auntie Bella Richards is no slouch. With Auntie Bella, she taught me discipline in hula I had never learned from any other kumu hula. And I've had a few. Pua Kanaka Ole Kanahele taught me perfection in oli. Because I was very fortunate to be able to do a series of, over a period of time, 2 years, of learning oli with her. And so you practice, and then just when you think you got it, and you go there and you do the oli, she goes like this, and you're like, I hit it, right? You do your oli. Yeah. And then you open your eyes and you look at her and she's like this. And then when she bands you to the yard, go chant to the tree out there. Then you know you really didn't hit it, right? I tell you. There another woman that I just want to talk about because my list is too long. But one of the women is a wahine named Henna Baldomero. And I know she's probably not here. And I don't know if anyone out there knows Henna, but I want to tell you a story about the lesson she taught me about being empowered. One day I was stuck at work, and there was no way I could pick up my two sons at elementary school. And she was a mom, and she had kids in the same class. And for some reason, I just know that it was really tough. I couldn't go from town all the way to Ka'elepulu, Windward Side in Kailua, to get them. And I happened to have her phone number just because she had given it to me because we were going to plan something for the basketball team, something like that. Never really talked to her, knew her slightly. And so I thought, I can't get in touch with my mother. I don't know where my sister is. I had run out of people to be able to pick up my children from school. So I gave her a call. And I said, "Hi, Henna, this is Manu." And I go, "Do you remember me?" She's like, yeah, how are you? And I said, "I'm sorry I'm going to ask you for a favor. And if you cannot, just tell me, but I'm really, really stuck." And I said, "Is it at all possible for you to go and pick up my children for after school? I know you have to get yours." She had like 5 also. She had choke kids. So I know they were going to squeeze into her car. I said, "Is that at all possible?" And, she hesitated. And then she said, "I would be," what did she say? See, I told you it's hard, Joe, when you're 40. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just doing the tension thing. She said, "It would be my pleasure to do that." Are you kidding me? She said, "I would love to pick them up." And she said it genuinely, so sincerely, I was taken aback. I expected her to kind of hesitate and say, oh, and be thinking and calculating, where are they going to sit on the roof, And I expected to hear that in her voice because I thought I was really asking a big favor, and I was. You know, it was an imposition. But she made me feel so good by being so gracious, you know? And after she did that, I said, I want to try to remember when I do things for people and they say, oh, thank you, that I say, it's my pleasure. Because it really is. It really is. So to Hannah, I owe that. You know, we can learn these traits and these characteristics of great leaders everywhere. You know, just in someone you don't even know passing in a store and just have a small conversation with them. So it's really up to us to always be maka'ala and to be watching and to be listening for it, you know, and to be recognizing it. And then when you recognize it, really embrace it, right? Celebrate it. So the last part of this was to really talk about what are leadership characteristics, because there are tons of characteristics that our different leaders have. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find out what time it is. I don't want to keep you guys. It's 10. Mahalo. Okay. So when we start looking at leaders and women, men, whomever are leaders, leaders of a pack, you know, what are the different characteristics we see in leadership? And the reason I'm asking, we can't all be leaders, but we all are leaders in our own right. In some different perspective, in some different way, we all have to lead at one time or another. What are characteristics that you notice, okay, for example, that you think exemplify leadership? Anybody? Or leaders? Yes. A good listener. Absolutely, right? A good leader is not always talking. A really good leader is listening, right? I still have makana, so I don't have the double one, but this is just as good. Mahalo nunui. Tommy. Tommy Suganuma. Are you related to Kavena Suganuma? All of them. Nice to meet you, Tommy. Mahalo. Okay? Others, besides listening, Yaho Oloheves, others. Yes. Is that another Suganuma over there? Come and get your puke. She said a sense of humor. I wish I had a sense of humor. I tell you, that would really help me out sometimes. How are you?
Okay, I'm just sad I didn't bring my daughter.
Oh, she's sad she didn't bring her daughter. Yeah, hello. Nah, I'm just joking.
But she's not like your daughter. You know?
I forced my daughters to come. That's the difference. Give me a honey. Come around. This is one of my... Believe it or not, we play soccer together in the day. Back in the day, yeah?
You know who kept playing and you didn't stop playing.
Stop it. Mahalo. And also our daughters end up going to school together and they're buddies. Any of my daughters in the audience? I didn't see any of them. They're all here. Raise your hand. There's one. There's Havel. You don't know where the other ones went. The other one's cut already. Oh, where's Nae? Oh, aloha Nae. Where's Mihana? Eating. Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, those are my girls. You can see they're black and blue. That's not, I'm not punching them. Shh. Okay? See, that's my sense of humor. You see, it doesn't work. Okay, forget it then. Okay, roll back. All right. What's another leadership quality? So we have sense of humor, listening. Anybody? Selflessness. Very good. Okay, so, you got to make the walk of shame or the walk of fame. The walk of fame, we're going to call this, right? Changing the paradigm. See, Lily Kala. Look at me, I'm giving out your book. See, I got to give as present. See, I'm thinking of you. I have so much aloha for you. Aloha. Lavan, how are you? That's Lavan. Okay, other things. Now, if you think of, one hand way back there. Yes. An open mind and an open heart. Leaders have an open mind and an open heart. I know you. You look familiar, even though I don't have my glasses on from way back there. Okay, let's think about these terms that we have put forward, right? They're all very female terms, yeah, when you think about it. Okay, no one said you should be aggressive. You know, no one said, what are some of the more male type leadership? You know, like when you think of Hitler, right? Hitler was a leader, right? He was a leader of his people. Was he open-hearted? Did he listen? Well, I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, he was cruel, right? Aloha.
Oh, Makanalani Gomes. And my parents are Stephen Gomes and Malin Magno Gomes.
Aloha. Okay, so the point that I wanted to make, and I really was taking a chance because I thought, oh no, what if you guys say aggressive? What if you say impatient? Because really, leaders tend to have a little bit of impatience. You ever notice that? You're sitting around in a circle, and the leader is the person who's going to kind of move the things along because they're impatient and they're looking at their watch and they're thinking, come on, let's make some decisions, yeah? So impatience is also sometimes a part of leadership. But I wanted to take a chance, and I wanted to see if we as a group would choose characteristics that were more feminine than masculine, and we did. So I think that's really interesting, and I think it tells us and it reminds us to always appreciate who we are, where we come from, the fact that we are female essence. Okay? So with that, I cannot find my last page, so I'm just going to have to wing it and just tell everybody before we move on into your next, which is about, I think, which I think is about in the next 10 minutes, you're going to be moving on to your next class. I just wanted to thank all of you for coming and participating in this. I hope that we have been able to share some small little tools of how to continue being empowered, how to continue in our leadership roles, in our family, in our community, and for our nation. And when it comes to for our nation, if you're doing the best you can in your family, you are already building our nation, you know, and that's what I have always felt. If you are not sure and if you wish you could do more, then my key, and it's just because I am a professor and what I always push, or I'm an educator, what I always push is read more, educate yourself to more things. I will end with, if you know our Hawaiian history, you cannot help but be passionate about it. You cannot help but want to lead in certain areas of it and want to take care of our people because of it. So with that, I end. Mahalo nui, ladies. Thank you so much. Oh, did you turn me off? Do I have any questions from the crowd? Okay, good. Have a nice day.